We're a little late, but we're good. We're all good. Let's see what we're doing. we are we're live on Facebook. Hey everybody.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
I'm How are you doing, Tanya? Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh God, thank you. I'm doing great. I did an extra long hike today and I'm feeling fantastic. So I'm ready and raring.
Ready and raring for all those exciting questions and find out what's going on with everybody's lives around the world here on the live chat with Tanya Roberts, live on Facebook and on Zoom. Hi, everybody on Facebook and everybody in the Zoom room. If you're in the Zoom and you want to chat on your camera, please wave at us, which is the button in the middle of the bottom of your screen scene. Screen scene? Is that what it, at a word? So we can put you on the list. Those of you on Facebook Live, hi. If you have a question, please put it in the chat room. I will be monitoring it and asking the questions throughout the show. So, where'd you go on your hike?
I did, I don't go on the trail because I'm still paranoid about whether a dog can catch it and give it back to me, whether another dog would have COVID and give it to my dog and I'd get it from petting the dog. I heard that. I don't know if it's true or not. But so I've still been doing it on the streets and the hills. And
Okay.
it's real hilly around here. So I had a really long hike and it was great and socks was fantastic and I feel great.
Well, good. Well, we're going to bring Claude into the room, and we'll start off with the questions of the day. Boom, 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 boom.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys. Hi Tanya. Hi Mike. Doing
Hey.
fun. Doing great. You? Oh, I cannot hear you anymore now. Yeah. I think did we lose Mike here?
Yes, I was going to do
Oh, okay. Okay.
stuff.
Okay, we lost Mike for a second. Okay, I got two questions today, but I want to do things a little bit differently because the first question is for Mike because it's a yeah. The reason is because it's a Charlie's Angels question regarding like prior to when you were on the show, Tanya. So obviously you can butt in if you want, but I think it's Mike that would be the expert in what I'm going to ask. I want to ask about Kate Jackson, Cheryl Ladd, like not their feud, but I would say their like bad working relationship, as we call it. So, Mike, do you know why Kate Jackson didn't like Cheryl, or?
Well, the only thing I have to say about that is as you know, when you're in a work environment, you don't get along with everybody in the best of times, but everyone gets the work done. So they were just, they got their work done. If you see on screen, the chemistry between all three of the girls from season 2 and 3, and of course in 5, all of the seasons was excellent. But off the screen, they weren't as they weren't best friends. Let's just say so. In any kind of work environment, that's you don't always love everyone you work with. So
yeah, it's true. Obviously, they did a good job on the show. It didn't. I mean, when you watch the show, you cannot tell that maybe there was some disagreement here. You see, what I know about this is that I know that on the first season with Farrah, Kate, and Jacqueline, they were a close-knit like group. They got along very well. So like when Cheryl came, she was like a little bit like the outsider, basically. So it's like when you're in school and like a group of people are already friends and the new person comes in, she's a little bit the outsider. I also heard that Kate was a little bit difficult to work with, especially at the end when she had she got the role for Kramer versus Kramer, because Aaron Spelling didn't want to reform the schedule for her to be in the movie. So that's basically what I heard.
And also, I just want to add, there was really I'm sorry, Kate really did enjoy having Cheryl on the show. She producers asked, I believe they both asked Jacqueline and to Kate if they, I know that Kate asked, Kate asked them, or they asked Kate, and she
Okay.
approved her. So
Okay, at the beginning, yeah. Okay, so let's go to the question for Tanya now. All right, Tanya, I got a question that a little bit touchy. So it's a question that if you decline to answer, it's okay. I'm not gonna like
Have
how
a
to say
fit.
that. I'm not gonna hold it against you. I understand. It's like maybe I should do the memoranda here, say that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or can will be
you
all
get off the
against you.
show.
Yeah. Anyway, it's touchy, but it's not personal. So my question is this: I'm curious to know how much did you earn to be in A View to a Kill? Is it something you
How,
could say about how much you earn? How much money?
when I did the Angels,
No, when you did A View to a Kill, just for A View to a Kill.
oh, I think I made 350,000,
Oh yeah, I would have thought
and
more than that.
that was the highest paid chick they had ever paid for.
Bond girl, yeah, yeah. Obviously,
Yeah,
in 1985, that was a lot of money. Obviously, more than in 2020. Do you know how much
yeah.
Roger Moore did? That I know.
Hmm?
Roger Moore, do you know how much he made for that movie? That I know the
Oh, he
answer.
made millions. I
He
mean,
made
he was
eight,
uh,
8 million.
8 million.
Yeah, because there was
Wow.
an article in our local paper at the time that he was like holding on to get more money, and the article was named More, 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 like with his name, More, More, More. And yeah, I read he got 8 million for it. And recently this week, I heard that for Gal Gadot, for Wonder Woman 1984, she's gonna get 10 million. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if that movie will ever come out though. It's been postponed twice already, and now they're thinking about putting it directly on stream,
Yeah.
not in the theater. So,
Well, Tanya, we're getting underpaid for our show.
Huh?
We're getting underpaid for our show.
yeah, they want
Yeah.
Mike and Lance wants to renegotiate. I hope you got the. I think you got the pictures for Steven this time, right? When
Oh
Stevens
yes,
comes
I
in.
did. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say this week. So Tanya, happy birthday once again, and
Sure.
have a great week. Okay. All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
great.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye.
Yeah, Tanya, how was you turning sweet 16 again this year?
How am I sure? How is it to turn sweet 16?
Yes.
Well, I wish I was a little older so I could vote. I voted by mail already. Did you?
I dropped mine off at one of the official boxes in West Hollywood. Dropped it off.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
We're doing ours through the postal service.
yeah, and you know you can track them too.
Yeah.
You can find out. My friend,
The whole thing is bullshit of Trump's because it's never been a problem. First of all, he voted by mail. So who's he to talk about? But Lance has been voting by mail for ever since I've known him. And he's never,
yeah,
I mean,
well,
how would they say it's a 0.0001% of fraud. That's how scarce and rare it is. So I don't know what all the brouhaha is, except that I think that Trump probably is afraid he's not going to win, and that'll be his excuse. That
Yeah.
votes would see who knows.
it's called voter repression, suppression, and they don't, they'll do anything to make people, wonder and question instead of, acknowledge that we've all been doing it. Lots of people have been doing it for years and years and years and years and years. So
Yeah.
voting by mail is safe. Dropping off your ballots by safe. Stand in line, be safe.
Yeah, but the problem is standing in line now, man. It's terrible.
I know, but
You know what I mean?
people
The
are doing.
last time I went was to treat people, and Lance parked because he had done his by mail, and I stood online for probably an hour and a half in the broiling heat. He was sitting in the car with the air conditioning. But it was a long, long wait. Whereas when we used to go at the tennis club, it was right in and right out. So that was the first time I'd ever stood in line to vote. And I figured, no way with the pandemic am I going to stand in line for 2 hours.
It's a
You
good
know?
Glad you voted. All right, on Facebook, we're going to do a question from 007 Travelers. Hello, Tanya. Do you have a
Hey,
favorite brand, shoe brand? And if you do, what is it?
a favorite brand of what?
Shoes.
Shoe?
Shoes.
Oh, shoes. Shoes. No, I don't. I go for whatever looks great. You know, the major designers have fabulous ones, but they're sometimes out of price range. They're like $2,000 a pair. So I'm not going to be buying those. But I don't, I'm pretty open.
For the record, I like Nike. So there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I love my Solomons for that. My Solomons for hiking. Yeah, they're comfortable.
Beautiful. Caroline asked, Dear Tanya, would you like to work in a soap opera? I would love to see you in one, only because I would see you almost every day.
Oh, what a sweetheart. Well, you know, I was asked to do one, and I don't watch soap operas myself, and I just didn't want to do it. I thought, no way, all those pages every day, and I know how it's live TV, and it's just, it was, I wasn't interested, and I don't like the storylines that much. You know, I'm used to doing a movie, you know, and the soap opera's a continuing sob story of these different people, and I don't think I could handle it.
Excellent. Dell asked, greetings from Panama. Mike and Tanya, I have two questions. One, what is your biggest pet peeve? And two, what is your favorite quote?
Oh, my favorite quote. Well, first of all, I'll answer my pet peeve is Lance telling me to hurry up always. He's always telling me to hurry up and we're going to be late. That's my number one pet peeve. And my favorite quote is, God, now all of a sudden I can't think of famous quotes that I like. I can't think of any right now.
All right, well, percolate that.
I'm going blank.
We'll percolate that and we'll come back to it. We'll put a pin on it. Yeah. We have Philippi coming into the room right now in Zoom. If you want to put your camera on. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Terrific. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Though the situation in Europe is getting worse each week. Half my family is in France, and I am in. Well, my family is are in France, and I am in Spain, and things are not very well in both countries. We still cannot leave the city here in Madrid. And in the big cities in France, they cannot leave house. I think from 10 p.m. Till 6 in the morning. So it's like I don't know what's the word
I can't believe that, because everyone in this country is crying. We gotta go out. We gotta be able to get together in groups, and we don't need to wear masks. And I can't believe if they tried to stop Americans between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., there'd be no chance. Not that I wouldn't stay home. I would stay home happily. But Americans, for some reason, just don't want to believe this is real, or a lot of Americans anyway. And a lot do really care, but they haven't locked down our city. And now if you want to see a movie, what you can do is rent a theater for $100 and it's yours, and you can bring 12 friends.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can screen whatever movie you want. So that's cool. Otherwise, people aren't going to the movie theaters either, and there's no restrictions on it. I think maybe 25% of capacity, But the point is, no one's going. Everyone's too paranoid.
Yeah. Well, the news are not very good, because today I read that it will be the same situation until the second half of next year. So we just have to be patient and cautious.
Wow. Yeah, really. I'm so paranoid. I'm just paranoid in general. I basically don't go out except on my hikes. And I'm alone because I'm by myself with my dog. And I'm not doing the trails right now because they said your dog could catch it and then you could catch it from your dog. Something if he played with another dog. I don't know if that's true, but I'm doing the streets, but it's really hilly and it's a really good workout. It's the same good workout, but it's not as much fun because I can't let my little socks off the leash because of cars. So she doesn't get to run up in the hills and stuff. So she misses that. So maybe one of these days soon, I'm going to take a chance and go up to the park and, the trails and see how it is. I think that thing with catching from your dog is impossible, but I don't know,
Okay.
But I'd love to get to the trails.
I guess, yeah. My first question is a little bit personal. First, happy birthday with some days late. And well, my first question is a little bit personal. As I said, how did you spend your birthday?
Mike came over and we ordered in Kung Pao food. And there were just the three of us because, we're paranoid about overcrowding and all that. So it was just the three of us. And he bought me some great scented candles and balloons that are still flying high in the living room. And that's basically how we spent it. That's how we spent our day.
Yes, I thought I had heard you love the scented candles. Okay, yeah. Because yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying I really like them because they give such a nice fragrance to whatever room you're in, and I love them. I love them. I love incense, but it's real messy. The way the end falls off all the time and it gets all over every place. But I like incense too, but I really like scented candles because they fill the whole room, great aroma.
Yes, because it's one of the gifts I prefer to. I love buying scented candles, and I always have in my house scented candles because I love that too. So well, I'll try and try and get you one through Mike as soon as I can. And I had two yeah, and I had two quick questions. The first one is what, since you were a model in New York and you spoke in different chats about your model life, I wanted to know, what do you think about Shelley Hack as a model when she was back then, the Charlie girl, for example, or all the advertising things she did? How do you see her as a model?
She was a good model. She was a very good model. She was tall and thin and had a nice look about her, an all-American kind of look. And she was very good. And she had a good career as a model. Okay.
And another question is, as you had to go for the first time to Hollywood, what is the typical day of a newcomer to Hollywood? For example, a young girl or a young guy who is arriving at Hollywood with dreams, and how is it the beginnings, the first days? Because I guess you have a lot of dreams, but it must be difficult to get these dreams. and I guess the daily routine has to be a harsh way, because there are a lot of people who want the same thing than you.
Well, what you want, first of all, is to get an agent. And the best way to get an agent is looking in Showbiz Today or one of those newspapers that advertises for plays that are being cast, you know, in little playhouses around the city, you know, maybe 100 capacity. And agents go to those places, believe it or not, and a lot of people get seen there. And that's a great way to get an agent. But the idea is to get an agent. So you can also call the agency and that you're interested in and ask them if you could have a meeting or a reading, and they let you come over and, you know, you memorize a script, you know, a scene from a script with another actor, and you both come in and they see how much they like you. And I got an agent right away when I was here, because I had done a couple of things in New York, a couple of really low budget little movies, but I got an agent right away, and I was working right away, so I was lucky. But the basic thing is going out and getting auditions, and that's what everybody has to go through. So if you're bad at auditions, and I was pretty bad at auditions, I would get so nervous that I, you know, didn't do myself any good. But that's the tough part. That's really hard for people. Some people give great readings, and their performance on screen isn't much because they never tried anything else. They just know how to do it one way. And other people who can be very talented or not give terrible readings. And so a lot of it has to do with the casting agent.
Okay. Okay, interesting. So, well, two things. First, I will ask you, Mike, how I can do to send you, because I know a shop here with very, very good scented candles. So I'll choose one and I'll try and send it to you through Mike. So I think, Mike, I can write to you through your email.
Okay. Email or Facebook, yep, either one. I'll reach out.
Okay, great. So I will ask you what's the best way. And just a little thing to finish. I don't know if you received an email I sent you, because this week a friend of mine, my Paris friend of mine, I met you with in Heathrow 10 years ago, sent me a letter. It was a letter. It was not an email. It was like a copy of a letter I had sent you in 1999, and I didn't remember. And this friend is moving. She's gonna change place in Paris, and she's throwing things. And suddenly she found this letter, and she sent it to me. She made a photo and sent it to me by WhatsApp. And when I received it, I said, wow, I don't remember. I wrote that in 1999. And I sent it to Mike. So, well, I don't know, Mike, if
I've not forwarded, but I will this week. Yes, I got it.
It's funny, and it was 20 years ago, and well, so I hope you can read it. So thank you very much, both of you, again. Sorry.
They all go through Mike.
Yep.
So
Okay.
He knows, you know, he knows a lot more than I do. Not many companies.
Okay, so thank you again for chatting this one more week, and have a wonderful day, both of you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You too. Be safe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Excellent. Yes, I will get that to you. I remember that he sent that to me. Dominic, you're going to be the next person in the room, and then Hank after that, but we're going to ask some questions from Facebook. A lot of people are asking about the reboots. Have you seen all the reboots, Tanya?
I saw the reboots of the Norman Lear shows, which was you know, All in the Family, and then they did a reboot of, they did 3 shows, All in the Family, and what else? I forget the other two shows. The shows where the black couple have a dry cleaners and they're doing so great.
The Jeffersons, and they also
Yeah.
did One Day at a Time, and the one with Archie Bunker. Archie Bunker?
All in the Family.
All in the Family.
Yeah, I love that. They were really fun. So I've seen them, but I haven't seen any reboots of anything else.
Did you see, have people are also asking if you've seen the reboots of Charlie's Angels, of the TV show and the new movie?
No, I haven't seen the new movie, and the reboot of the TV show, I didn't even know. Oh, there was a TV show. No, I didn't see it.
Justin says he sends his love to you on Facebook.
Thank you.
Let's see. There was another person who, I think it was Greg, that's not feeling well, so he's not in the Zoom. So hope you feel better, Greg.
Yeah, feel better.
And we're
Stay away, keep on your mask.
Stay away from people.
That's a terrible thing to say, but that's the life we live, right?
Isn't it? It is weird.
Yeah, it's weird. They say they wonder if the world will ever be the same since this pandemic. They wonder if life will ever go back to normal as we knew it.
Right?
Hey!
Hi, you can hear me?
Yes, we can, Dominic.
Yes.
Good evening. No, I say good evening because in South France it's 9 o'clock and 30. So hi Tanya and hi Mike.
Hello.
And first of all, happy birthday with a little bit late. I'm a little bit late. Sorry, my English is not perfect. I will try to help myself. Huh? I'm a little bit intimidated to talk to you because I'm a big Bond fan, you know. And first of all, thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, 1 year before I ordered that 1 year before, something like that. You know, so I have to say I'm quite intimidated talking to you. I'm a James Bond fan, and often overlooked A View to a Kill is one of my favorites, you know. And it's the same thing for the character of Stacey Sutton. I am a number one advocate. In addition to being incredibly beautiful, and you still are, I find her endearing, courageous, strong, and it's thanks to her that Bond can kill Zorin in the end of the movie, you know, because she jumped on Zorin and it make the ship crash on the bridge, you know. So for me, everything in the movie. So I have one question for you first. Do you think that in your time the Bond girls were still just stooges in interesting roles, and that the situation has changed recently for them, or do you think that they have always been strong female roles in the saga?
Well, in the old days of Bond, they weren't nearly as, they were more of an appendage, you know, a pretty face, and they but they always they had played good characters. They wrote good characters for the women, but now I think the women's parts are getting much more physical, and they're, you know, and that's really good. It makes them more it just, to me, makes it more real and more feminist, and I like that.
Yeah, but I think they have always been strong character in the saga. It's not fair sometimes from some newspaper they say that Bond girls were never interesting. I think it's not true, especially for Stacey Sutton. For me, it's a strong character, you know. I don't know how you feel it when you shot the movie, but for me, it's a strong woman, a smart woman, and I never think she was uninteresting, you know.
Yeah, I think I know what you just said. You think the characters are interesting, right, Mike?
Yeah, I think it's a legend to say that Bond girls before were not. Maybe they are more interesting now, but They have always been, you know.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
I think they've always been interesting.
And they're more aggressive.
And I have a second thing to tell you. 1 month before, there was a birthday party for the 35 years old of the movie, you know, in the Chantilly Castle. And I was there, you know. So first they made an event, they make the visit of the castle. And on the evening, they made a projection of the movie in the park of the castle, you know. And it was amazing. There were 500 persons in the park to see that movie, that 35 years old movie. And it was amazing to see back that movie in such condition, you know, in the old fashioned way, you know.
Oh, yeah. I'll
Yeah.
bet that was,
Yeah, that was fun. And to see you on the big screen, it was amazing, you know.
yeah, right. It's a world of difference. To me, the Bond movies should be watched on the big screen because there's so much
Absolutely.
action and adventure. I think it's a lot more fun to go to the movie theater
Yeah.
than
But
watching it on. I mean, you know.
it was a lot of emotion to look this movie in the park of the castle where the movie was shot, you know, where you shot the scenes with Roger. And tonight, it's a lot of emotion for me to talk with you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, I feel shy, you know, because it's amazing for me.
I know you speak English very well, but for some reason I didn't get that last thing you said.
Sorry?
He said he was feeling shy, that he's very honored to talk to you.
Yes,
Oh, it's a pleasure to talk to you too. Are you kidding?
thank you.
And how are things going where you live, by the way, with the pandemic?
In the South France, they are getting worse, but I live in a 150,000 people city named Toulon. It's a harbor city. It's not a big city, so we have to wear the mask outside, but the restaurants and bar are still open, you know. So
They are.
yeah, it's okay for us. It's okay. What is hard for me is I cannot travel. I'm someone love to travel, and now I cannot travel anymore. But the more important it is to save people, you know.
Absolutely. Our
know-
restaurants still aren't open, most of them. Most of them aren't open. And if they do, they open them on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
More like France, they're actually on the sidewalk because they don't want people inside the space. But there's a few open in New York with 25% capacity. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't go. I'm that paranoid. I don't want to take a chance for a meal out. No way. I'd rather, order in something than go out.
yeah, there are some priorities, you know. There are some important things to do, but it's okay. In Toulon, we're not so bad.
Yep.
Yeah, it's okay. But I hope, just like everyone, there will be a vaccine and that the world will be better, you know.
I hope
You
so.
know, I'm a male nurse. I work in psychiatry, so I had to meet some people who had the virus. So I took some risks sometimes, you know, and for me, it's not comfortable for me and my family, you know.
No, that must be scary. So you had to go to work?
During 3 months, I have to live in another place than my wife and my daughter, you know, for not, they were scared to get the virus, you know, so we made this choice, you know.
Sure. I bet we call them first responders, people like you. It's a great service that you do, and we're all really grateful because we need you guys.
Yeah.
And but you just got to keep on your mask and your shield and hope for the best, right?
But to be honest, I don't work in ICU, you know, I work in psychiatry, but anyway, we have an important role because our patients, they are more, I mean, they're not strong. They're more scared than other people about the virus, you know. So they need us to comfort them.
Sure. No, I can imagine. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are very depressed about it, and other people who are just anxious about it. And I mean, everybody's going through, this is so new. This has never happened in my life anyway. And so everyone's getting used to it, trying to, but it's very alienated. You can't see your friends. You can't go out and have a bite with them. We're just stuck in our houses, and that's the way it is for the while. So I can imagine that a lot of people come to you for help.
But
And
tonight for me to talk with you was a solace, you know, made me feel good, you know.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Great
and
stuff.
I hope I will have that occasion again on Zoom.
Great, absolutely. Come back anytime.
Thank
Nice to meet
you.
you, Dominic.
That's all what I had to say tonight. Bye-bye, Mike, and bye-bye, Tanya.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
That is so sweet. We all need people like that who help those who need it in the
And a
hospital.
lot of people do need it. A lot of people are really, especially those people who live alone. They must be climbing the walls. Well,
Yeah.
you live alone.
That's true.
So
I climb along.
You go out more than I do.
I do. Although I
You
went out to
venture
eat last night and I was not particularly happy about that. It wasn't.
Really? Where'd
Yeah,
you
the
go?
rest, we went to Rocco's and not I had my mask on most of the time. Like if I wasn't eating, I put my mask back on because everybody else wasn't, and it was a little too close for me. People were a little too close, and I don't think I'll go back there because I'm as, if not more paranoid than you are, because I go out more, and I need my space, and they were a bit too close. It's a bit too close, but you know, sometimes you have to go out and see people. It's scary, but yeah, mentally it does help a lot. But
Yeah, it certainly does.
but I definitely go back to 24-hour kitchen. 24-hour kitchen in LA has a larger space, so I feel much more comfortable there.
Where's that, in West Hollywood?
Yeah, there's one in West Hollywood down here around the corner. So they do their space. There's a lot of space between people there, so I feel much comfortable with that. Okay, Hank, you're the next person on Zoom, but we're going to ask a couple questions on Facebook. Alex says, hello, Tanya Roberts from Erie, Pennsylvania. Love watching you on Charlie's Angels and That 70s Show.
Oh, great.
Richie asks, do you still have the belly chain from American Dreaming?
American Dreaming.
No, what was the what
Ring a bell for me. Did I ever do a movie called American Dreaming?
I think he's thinking about California Dreaming.
Oh, California Dreaming. I don't even know that I had a waist chain.
So
I don't know. I don't think I did, but then I can't remember. You know, and I haven't seen it. I'm surprised that he knows about it because I haven't seen it. It's one film that hasn't come back to haunt me. But I haven't seen it in so long and I don't remember. I really don't remember whether I was wearing anything in particular. I don't remember much. I just remember wearing a lot of bikinis because it was a beach movie.
It was a beach movie, of course. That's funny. No, I know that you were in the production photos. There was that dark blue bikini that you wore. That's all the photos. Yep. Hello, Hank. Welcome to the room.
Hey, Mike,
Hank.
and hey, how are you?
I'm terrific. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. I'm in the DC area, just outside on the Virginia side, and just like you, very paranoid about everything that's going on.
Yeah. So do you go out to restaurants and stuff or not yet?
few and far between. I'm doing like you're doing. I'm doing a lot of ordering in, a lot of DoorDash is what we have out here. So, and I'm also living alone. So yeah, Mike, you're right, crawling the walls.
Every
I
day.
can really relate to that. But
I should
thanks for
paint them
doing,
too while I'm doing it.
but thanks for doing this, Tanya. I've been a fan of yours since, of course, Charlie's Angels and Beastmaster and Sheena. I think I wore that VHS tape out back in the day.
Really?
But of course, I'm a huge James Bond fan, and I've had the chance to meet one other Bond girl, Gloria Hendry, who played Rosie Carver in Live and Let Die with Roger Moore. So I'll ask
Yeah.
you, yeah, I'll ask you what I asked her. You know, you're part of a unique group of women for the rest of your life. How, you know, how were you welcomed into that that sort of basket or family of girls, and what has that been like for you since?
Well, actually, I see them at signings sometimes. I see some of the Bond girls, but we on that 70s show, we did an episode that was about the Bond, used Barbara Carrera and two other Bond women, and that was great to see them. And yeah, it was fun. Otherwise, I only see a few of them when I go to signings.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So from Connery all the way to Daniel Craig, who is your favorite James Bond?
Daniel Craig.
I think he's awesome.
I love him. I love that he's street, and I just love his looks, and I think he's great. I think he made it was a real departure from cool, suave Roger Moore to Daniel Craig, but I thought they made a great choice.
I think so too. And I remember the public outcry over he's blonde. He can't be a James Bond if he's blonde. And, you know, he's too muscular. He's too hunky. You know, he's too street. But in my opinion, I think he really pulled it off.
Yes, so do I. He really pulled it. He's a great actor. He's been doing a lot of other things, you know, since and in between his Bond movies. And he's a terrific actor. So,
No, I agree with you.
I think it's a great choice.
No, for sure. I totally agree with you. I'm looking forward to the next one whenever they're going to let us out to go see these in the theaters again.
Oh, maybe you catch it streaming. They're streaming a lot of movies now. Paid
Yes, they are.
per view.
Yeah.
So
No, go ahead.
I think a lot of movies are going to come out on paid per view. And that's what I heard in the news yesterday. And so that's how we'll be seeing our movies, I guess, for the next months. You know, we're not going to be going to the movie theaters. They can't get anyone to come. The movie theaters are open, but they can't get anybody to come. Nobody's coming.
Yeah, and that's sad because I think you're right on the money. A Bond flick is just one of those that you have to see on the big screen, just like any Star Wars would be. You know, you just got to see it on the big screen. I guess my final question for you would be, you know, a lot of actors are now coming out talking about the roles that were offered that they turned down, but looking back, they wish they had taken that role. Anything come to mind for you?
Yeah, actually, Tremors. Tremors. Yeah,
Yes.
I should have done that. And another one is the one where they played Taggart or Target. I can't remember the chick who starred in it, but I turned down that. It was the one where you would chase someone with a gun and it wasn't real bullets, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
I forget what name that was, but I should have done that movie. But it seemed so small budget. I thought, oh, you know, and I'm sorry I didn't do it because it was a great little movie. So,
I think you're talking, I think it was called Gotcha. It also came out around the 80s.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It came out
Something
in,
like
I think the late 80s, early 90s, maybe somewhere in there.
I think it was early 80s.
Yeah. That's what I remember. I remember seeing that in the theater. So I didn't realize you had been offered that role. That's pretty cool. I think you would have done
Yeah.
better.
Oh, I don't know. I think she was fantastic. I really like her a lot. The actress who
Surely,
did it.
surely. Well, thank you again for chatting, and best of luck to you. And again, thank you, Mike and Lance, for organizing this and getting it on the air for us fans.
Great.
Thank you.
And Hank, we have to ask, are you a big, what are the photos behind you?
Yeah, you could say I'm a little bit of a Karate Kid fan.
Okay, good.
I work, you mentioned signings, Tanya. So aside from one of the many things that I do for a living here, I also work for AwesomeCon, which is the Comic-Con for DC.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, I've been with them for since AwesomeCon #2. And of course, Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka and Marty Cove have all been through there. I've known Marty for years just through martial arts channels. I do martial arts, have been doing martial arts forever. And so that's how I met Marty Cove, just at various martial arts events. But of course, that movie is what got me into martial arts, and meeting Ralph was sort of a dream gig. I got to be his handler for all 3 days that he was here, and phenomenal individual. And then this right here, one of the first Asian guys that, besides Mr. Miyagi, that gets a little bit of credit for the movie is a guy by the name of Daryl Vidal, who was a real karate guy who got cast in the movie, not as an actor, but as a karate guy that could do scenes very well. And so he's the guy that Johnny fights just before Daniel gets up there and does the crane technique.
Excellent.
Oh.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that.
No, thank you for asking. I'm honored.
Have a
Take
good
care.
day. Thank you for joining us,
Have a
Hank.
great day. Stay
Thank you.
safe. Wear your
You
mask.
too.
Thanks. We will.
All right, Patricia, we're going to bring you into the room. Let's see if she's ready. And we have Stephen for the room, and I think we're going to wrap it up after that. And maybe we have
Okay.
one more question from Facebook, but I think we're almost good. So I'm going to bring Patricia into the room. I think she's been dying to come in, and let's see if she can turn on her camera. And here we go. Hi, Patricia. Hold on.
Hi, how you doing?
You need to unmute yourself.
Okay.
There you go. Now we can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Hi.
Great to see you both. How is the weather in LA? Is it still nice?
It's really, really nice. It's 85 today.
Perfect.
So, or 88, and we're heading for a cool off. All this
Good.
week,
A
it's
little
gonna
bit.
be all 80s. So it's the heat wave's over.
It's nice.
I'm
It's
glad-
nice for a walk. If you go walking, it's nice that
Oh
weather.
yeah, I go walking really first thing in the morning at 6 o'clock. So I
Perfect.
don't want any heat, because once the day gets going, if it's going to be a day in the 90s or even the high 80s, you just can't go out in the middle of the day. You'll get heat stroke.
Absolutely. I know.
So
My husband has no problem with it. We're here in Southern Nevada, and if it's 100 degrees outside, he'll go for a walk. And I don't know how he does it, but I just wanted to tell you that you mentioned Daniel Craig, and I think it's interesting that you said he's your favorite Bond, because he can do something that you did, which is he switches from very serious, dramatic action roles to comedy, which is really challenging. And actually, as much as I loved all the Bond films, I really loved your performance in the 70s show. In fact, oh my gosh, you were our favorite character, the whole family. And we just loved the comic timing of it, and I just guess how did you manage? It seems very challenging to switch from something like action and something where your line and the way you deliver it is what brings the laugh. So I'm very curious about that.
Well, I'll tell you, I was always good at comedy, and I got Charlie's Angels, and before that, California Dreaming, and I started off doing, movies like that, and they weren't comedies. And so no one thought of me for comedies. And for some reason, I did a movie called Almost Pregnant, which was a comedy. And the people who were producing that 70s show saw it and thought I'd be great for it, and had me in and just talked to me and gave me the role. So
Absolutely.
it was
You
so
were
much fun with
perfect.
a live audience. Oh, I had a
And
great
I
time.
know that you went off the show for a while because of personal reasons. And then I thought it was so much fun when they brought you back with Brooke Shields and you had that whole storyline going. It was really great. It was one of the best. I really enjoyed it. I just love having the opportunity to tell you. And
Thank
I
you
also
so
wanted to
much.
ask you,
Appreciate
do you is there something you would like to do now? Like if you could pick a project, any project at all, what kind of a project would it be?
it would be a comedy, and it
Oh,
would be hopefully I'd love to do another television series. I'd love to. I'm hoping something comes along. That would be my first choice, because you get to work in front of a live audience, and it's a 5-day week, so you're not shooting crazy hours like you are when you're doing a movie or a 1-hour show, and you get a lot of days off, holidays. And so it's great, but the best thing about it is the live audience. I really got off and getting a laugh right then. You feel, you know, if you're on or if you're not, that way.
yeah,
And
I mean, that's incredible. I think to do something like that and keep a straight face while other people are out in the audience is pretty fantastic. So do you do any, are you one of the actors who, do you do any independent films at all? Do they interest you?
yeah, they do interest me, although I haven't come upon one recently that I liked. I was signed for one and then they never made it. And that was an independent movie, but I haven't seen, and now everything's on shutdown, so there's no hope for that for a while.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'd like to do something good if I could find it, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening in the near future.
Well,
You know?
actually, one of the reasons I'm on today is we actually do have something to send you. So I'm going to do that and you take a look at it and see if you like it. Because I am a writer and we're producing a film in Northern California. And I've actually, my agent has contacted you, and for some reason must be the wrong information. And so that was one of the reasons I wanted to come on today to talk to you and Mike and tell you about this project and send you the screenplay and see if you would be interested in getting involved with it. I think the part's perfect for you. So.
Oh, well, perfect. I'd love to check it out. Send it to Mike and he'll
Okay.
bring it.
Thank you, Mike.
And
Do you mind if I ask you, how did you, you seem like you're a huge Charlie's Angels fan with all the books and things that you've written. And I mean, you've written some really interesting things as well. And besides the Charlie's that you do another show. How did you get involved in all of that? What made you so interested in them and all the angels and everything?
It started when I was a kid. I fell in love with the series when Cheryl Ladd arrived in 1977, and I watched the show up, for the whole years. Then I recorded them all on VHS. My college friends were like, we'd come over to the house after classes and we watched Charlie's Angels on tape. Then TNT was going on, and then I was always just a huge fan, and I had a little bit of a collectibles when I was a kid. But after that, when I moved to LA, I went to a party and they had the dolls, the Charlie's Angels dolls, and that
Right, they do, yes.
started the whole thing again. It just
And now you're friends with one of my favorite angel, actually. It's lucky you followed your passion,
I'm
So
a very blessed man.
yeah, you're lucky, and Tanya, you're also originally from the East Coast, which I am as well. And I had read that. Yes, I'm originally from New York. I haven't been there for years. I lived in Greece for 7 years. So, but yes, 7 years.
Wow.
7
How
years.
was
Yeah. I liked it very much. I really did. I enjoyed, you know, the society is very people. They take care of each other, which is a little bit
Oh,
different than what I feel is going on here right now, you know.
oh, yeah.
So I missed
Oh,
that. And the food was
yeah.
terrific. So, but
Yeah.
you like Greek food?
I love Greek food.
I'm part Greek.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that right? On which side of the family?
I was adopted, so it's actually on my father, my biological father's side. My mother biological was from Sweden. So
Oh,
she,
wow. That's a wonderful combination.
Yeah.
Good food and good desserts for both those, right?
That's true.
That's terrific. No, and I think it's super because I had read a little bit of trivia about you, how you had a voice coach to take the New York away, you know, and it makes me laugh because that is very true of a number of us. Once we go out there, that's the first thing they tell us is they try to, you know, make us not sound so regional, you know, so that was
New
also a
York.
challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I was from the Bronx and from Manhattan, and I really sounded like it. I didn't think I had an accent at all, but
You don't
everybody
hear
said,
it.
God, you got to lose that accent. So I went to speech class
Wow.
and I lost it pretty well, but still people can generally tell that I'm from the East Coast. I think a lot of it has to do with the way we talk kind of fast compared
Yes,
to people from Oklahoma, let's say, or the South for sure.
it's true.
And so that give away right away.
Yeah, the people from the West Coast, when we first moved out here, they would pause, you know, they'd say something and pause. And we thought, okay, they're finished. It's my turn to talk now. But they were actually just taking a breath. So I know.
That's exactly what happens with my boyfriend Lance and I. He takes a pause and I think he's finished. And so I'll say something. He says, "You're always interrupting."
Right.
And
I'm not finished yet. How are you supposed to know that? Right. Yeah, my husband still says that to me after 20 years. He's still like, "Ah," you know, so, well, I know you have a lot of people waiting. I'm so glad to get the opportunity to talk to you and also to pitch our screenplay. So I will send it to Mike as you suggested. Is there a specific email that we need to, is it anywhere?
Just hit me up on Facebook and I send you my email and we can do it
Okay.
from there. If you need the address, we'll do it from there.
Sounds really good. Terrific. Tanya, have a wonderful day. And as I say, it was really delightful to speak with you. You're charming.
Great.
Nice to meet you.
Bye, Mike. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.
All right, Stephen, we're going to bring you in the room real quick. And then we have two questions from Facebook, Tanya. One was, what film were you going to see when you met Barry? Is that a true story?
Yeah, it is. I was going to see a movie, The Speed or something like that. And I was standing on the movie line and he came and stood by me. I walked out of the line to a place that sold pizza and they held my place for me. And I was just actually walked that line to meet him. He was a block away, but I knew somehow the vibes, whatever it is. And I ended up meeting him and we became fast friends and it went on from there. That's
Beautiful.
just,
Now,
yeah.
Thank you, Richie, for that question. And Wendy's asking, hope you had a nice birthday. What kind of cake did you have?
I had chocolate fudge cake and it was incredible. It was incredible. It was great cake. I don't eat cake. I try not to eat sweets, although I'm a bit of a sweet tooth. But that cake was especially terrific.
It was. I had a bite.
Yeah. Mike
And
had
we have
a bite.
Stephen in the room too. Hey, Stephen.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Hold on, let me unmute you. I'm sorry. Ooh. Technology, I love it. Ask to unmute. How about that? Oh, Stephen, you have to unmute yourself. I'm sorry. There you go.
I pushed it. I pushed it 3 times. Hopefully you can hear me.
It's the Zoom thing. You hit it, doesn't work. It is
Technology sucks.
That's true. In a way, it's especially for me, I'm so technophobic. I don't even know how to get on Zoom and then have a conversation with someone I want to without Mike's help or Lance's help. Yeah, I'm a real technophobe still.
Don't worry, just sit in the chair, sit in front of the camera, and we'll point and shoot. So, I've got a question for you.
Wait. 1 second. How about that? Can you see that?
I can see you. Tanya's gone, and I've gone. Oh, no. Okay.
There's the pictures of Manchester.
There's your picture.
I got them, and I couldn't believe the high rise and everything. I couldn't believe it. It looked nothing like that when I was there. There were no high rises. It's really grown as a city.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
Is that your hotel?
That's my front lobby of my hotel. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Is that the hotel?
I told you it was all marble and stone, and yeah. And this is upstairs next to one of our main suites. So there we go. Yeah.
Nice. I can't believe the difference. It was just little houses when I was there. I mean, there were business buildings, but there was no high rises, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's coming along nicely, so that's good. Well, I'm glad you've got them. I wasn't going to bang on about it, so don't worry. But thank you for.
Oh, you don't have to now. I showed them.
I know you kept your word. That's great. So Tanya, can you help me with something? I've never seen it. Sheena, the director of Sheena. How do you say his name? Was it John? Was it Gilliman?
Yes, it was Gilliman.
Okay.
Unfortunately, from the movie.
Right, because I mean, I haven't seen it. I've seen many of his other films because, you and I have we have a shared sort of passion for Poirot, and he did Death on the Nile, which had another Bond girl, Lois Childs. Yeah.
Yes.
So I never knew how to say his name, but I gather he was difficult to work with.
Gilliman is very difficult to work with. He hit on Lois Childs. I know that. She had to call up her agent to get him to tell him to stop. And he did the same with me. He banned my husband from the set for no reason at all. So here he was, my poor husband in Nairobi all by himself, but he grooved on it. He said it was like Harlem. He loved it. He had a lot of fun walking around every day. But he banned him from the set, and he also brought in another writer, Lorenzo Semple, who ruined David Newman's script. So it was such a beautiful, touching story. He cast the wrong lead man. He should have cast someone who was a real city slicker. It would have been much funnier. And he just destroyed that project, and that's why you haven't seen it.
Well, he's now dead, which is. Yeah. I was reading about it because David Newman was involved in the Superman series. He said, yeah, he and his wife definitely wrote Superman 3, but they kind of took over from Tom Mankiewicz for Superman 2. And that was a convoluted sort of project. But it's because I have a friend who was in those films. So I was just doing a little sort of research. But when I saw the name John Gilliman, I was like, he did King Kong, he did Towering Inferno, he did Death on the Nile. So I thought I would check out with you whether Sheena was a passion project for you, or because it was difficult because of this man, whether it's something that you wouldn't necessarily push for a fan to watch. I mean,
he ruined the movie. That's all I know is he ruined the movie. The original script was great. and he just ruined the movie. That's all I can tell you. He was drunk most of the time, and he was made the wrong decisions for music. For example, they wanted John Williams, and he picked the guy who did Chariots of Fire, so people would call it Zebras of Fire because
Oh,
it sounded so much the same. And he did everything within his power to destroy the movie. I mean, I'm convinced that if he had some kind of a passion to fuck it up, because he fucked up everything he could touch on the movie. He was terrible, terrible. And I can't say I've ever worked with a director who I can say that about, except Gilliman. I'm
okay.
glad he's gone. He's that evil a person. He's a very bad man. And, you know, his son killed himself during the movie.
Yeah.
And he deserved it because the kid couldn't live with his father. His father was so cruel. He just had so much bad vibes and karma. I can't tell you how he ruined that film for all of us. He was just a terrible person.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring up something that was obviously sensitive. So it was.
Oh no, that's okay. I mean, it was a long time ago, and that's okay. What I'm sorry about is that the beautiful movie that it was when I signed to do it was ruined by Lorenzo Semple, who changed the script all around and took away that whole city edge to the guy, and then they cast the wrong guy, and you know. But hey, it's water under the bridge. I'm not sensitive to that anymore.
Okay, it's because obviously I'm keen to see more of your work than I have done. I mean, there are certain things that are not available on DVD in this country because of, you know, different marketing and so on. So let's get on to a subject that we can both sort of smile about. So you like Daniel Craig, and we've talked about period dramas. So did you ever watch the film Elizabeth with Kate Blanchett?
Elizabeth? Oh, yeah, where she plays Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but I loved her in Blue Jasmine.
Okay.
The Woody Allen movie. I've watched that 100 times. She was so brilliant. She's one of my favorite actresses. She's great. I missed Elizabeth. I don't know why. I just wasn't in the mood for a period piece, and I've forgotten about it. I got to check it out. But you got to check out Jasmine, because that's a great movie. She's brilliant.
Oh, I love her. But Daniel Craig is in Elizabeth, so I thought I would mention that film to you. Yeah, he's an assassin in it, but it's not typecasting of Bond. He's an evil priest. So yeah. I collect sort of film memorabilia and costumes, and I have one of her outfits from a movie she did with Christina Ricci called The Man Who Cried. So that's why when you said last week how you still had your blue Bond dress, I was like, I want to see it. So you have to dig that out for me.
Oh, okay. I'll dig it out. I'll search it's in some of my cabinets in my garage. I'll find it and dig it out and show it to you next time.
That would be cool.
And I'll wear it. And I'll wear it.
Mike said he would wear it.
Right. He's like the Wicked Witch who's going to try and put her big foot in a Cinderella shoe.
Well.
It's not going to fit. Hey, listen, it's probably not going to fit on me right now either.
Don't worry about it. It's immortalized on film, you know, so there we go.
There you go. Well, Stephen, it's beautiful to talk to you again. Thank you for sharing those photos with us.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's great to see those photos.
It's okay. You know, it wasn't an important thing to do. I just thought it would be a nice thing to do. So,
everybody on Facebook, so they were beautiful.
It's not too bad when it's not raining.
It looks like.
Yeah. I was just saying, it looks lovely when it's not raining.
Oh, is it raining a lot there?
Yes. And it's cold and damp, and welcome to October. So.
Oh, that's the one thing I got to say. I live in California, Los Angeles, and the weather here is beautiful. And if we get 3 weeks of rain a year, we're lucky. So it's always a beautiful day here. It never goes below 65. It's always sunny pretty well. I mean, you get spoiled. It's such a beautiful weather. It's like Hawaii. Hawaii is also beautiful weather. I think we have the closest climate to Hawaii in the United States. Florida's too humid, but LA's perfect. You got to come
Yeah,
out here. sometime.
thanks. Yeah,
Well-
I used to do lots of layovers in Pasadena, so yeah, I love LA and all that area. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Well, be safe
Anyway.
this week, Stephen.
yeah. Nice to speak to you.
Thank-
Thanks very much.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Again.
Catch you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, Tanya. Well, that's our show for tonight. Tonight.
He's ready, better ready.
What is Lance making for dinner today or lunch?
He ate his dinner for breakfast. He said to me, "What are you doing in the kitchen?" I said, "I'm coming to get the dogs a treat." He goes, "Oh, because I'm making my lunch." And this was at 10 o'clock this morning. So I don't know what he is up his sleeve. But he's the cook of the family, not me.
Excellent. Well, everybody on Zoom, thank you for joining us, coming on camera. Those of you on Facebook, thank you so much for your questions. I just saw a bunch of them come up at the end. I'm sorry, the show is running a little over. So please jump back next Saturday and ask those amazing questions that you have just posted. Because I think Caroline had one, and Martin had one, and Alex had one, Lisa had one, Rumor had one. So please join us next week and we'll answer those questions. Tanya,
Sure.
you look beautiful. I'm so glad you turned 16 again.
It's nice hitting it the second time.
It is. It looks gorgeous on you. Looks gorgeous. All right, everybody, be safe out there.
Be safe and wear a mask.
Bye. Until next week.
Bye.